Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. CONVOCO's name comes from the Latin word convocare, to convene. The idea of CONVOCO is to bring together people from different fields and disciplines. CONVOCO is working at a place where science, economics, politics, and culture meet. The best thinkers and doers are called together to encourage a thought-provoking debate. Therefore, CONVOCO offers a variety of platforms. Lectures in Berlin, Munich, and London, a 2-day conference in Salzburg, the Forum, a website, and a book edition in German and English. To see it whole, to see it fresh, to see things holistically is the idea. In our thinking, we need to be open, unbiased, and innovative. Statements and analysis must take in account of today's globalized world. They should make sense in the new global context. Think global is our aim. It's clear we need a new way of dealing with our current problems. For CONVOCO, this way lies in the interdisciplinary approach. Our focus is on changes in today's world, as well as the changes that are coming in the near future. As to keep things as they are, a lot has to change. At CONVOCO, we identify the zeitgeist, and we choose every year a different subject. In 2012, CONVOCO's theme is Between What Is and What Should Be, Societies that Break Their Own Law as a Threat to Liberty. We are looking at the notion of lawbreaking, meaning lawbreaking committed by many people in one community all at the same time. What are their motives? What are the outcomes? Where does it lead? The sense of right and wrong in our society is shifting. It is breaking down. The individual is no longer always willing to obey the law. Collective lawbreaking happens in the most diverse areas. It occurs at all levels of society. A very obvious and highly relevant example is the Maastricht Treaty. The famous principle, pacta sunt servanda, agreements must be kept, is no longer a central principle. Agreements are entered into without the will to adhere to them. They are made only with the aim of formal compliance. But the principle of pacta sunt servanda is a categorical imperative. Once we commit, its fulfillment is a categorical requirement. But it is not only a question of not abiding by contracts. Laws are also being broken. Today, breaches of data protection and copyright laws are more and more common. As a result, illegal downloading is often seen as a minor offense. The damage caused to business seems to be of very little concern. Also, firms such as Facebook and Google breach data protection rules. Their services are as popular as always. Today, we are looking at our 2012 theme from a different angle. We are hoping to get a little closer to the phenomenon of hacking. Our topic is hacking away at the rule of law, why online communities hack despite its illegality. Tonight, I'm very happy to welcome Andrew Murray. He's professor of law at the London School of Economics and an expert on the topic of hacking. His research delves into the new disciplines of cyber regulation and cyber law. Professor Murray's academic niche represents the idea behind tonight's lecture, examining a modern phenomenon and discussing it in the context of the rule of law. For many people, hacking is a closed book. We hear about it, we know about it, but somehow it remains invisible and beyond our understanding. There's almost something mysterious about it. Hacking remains a skill. One could almost say an art. It is a kind of knowledge that empowers. Hackers are formidable programmers, but they have never been part of the establishment. And it does not help when governments use hackers to promote their own political agenda. It is sad that the FBI has collected data about millions of US citizens. The hacker group Antisec claims to have found 12 million Apple device IDs on an FBI computer. The hackers have posted 1 million data records on the internet to prove it. Obviously, the FBI denies it. Hacking itself is law-breaking. This needs no further explanation. Companies protect themselves against industrial espionage. States go after hackers. But now there is a shift in the perception of hacking as governments use hackers for their own purposes. There is a professionalization of hacking going on. A transformation in our conception has taken place. But even if governments use hacking, this doesn't make hacking itself legal. Nevertheless, there will be effects on the legal side. At a certain point, the law itself has to adapt and change. I fear we have reached this crucial point. Developments in technology are already challenging national laws. But adding the international element makes it even more dramatic. One can hack a computer in one state while sitting at the desk in another. Let us take WikiLeaks as an example. Data was acquired from a computer in Iraq, fed into computers in the US, and leaked via servers in Sweden and several other countries. Thus, it is no longer clear which data protection rules apply. Here's something interesting. It is almost impossible for a lawyer to tell if WikiLeaks is acting legally or illegally. I find this an amazing fact. We are witnessing the emergence of a second world. This world is without limits and borders, cyberspace. In this world, individuals interact, conduct business, engage in political discussions. Nevertheless, our whole legal system has been developed for the physical environment. Space is the basis for our laws and regulations. Hacking away at the rule of law is our topic this evening. The idea is to examine a modern phenomenon and to discuss it in the context of the rule of law. Let us reflect for a moment on the meaning of law for our society. The law is what it takes to live in a safe and free world. There is no freedom without limitation and no peace without regulation. It is in all our interests to submit to regulation, even if this restricts our sovereignty at the same time. On the other hand, collective law-breaking can also advance civil liberties. It can be a consciously chosen instrument. So collective law-breaking is no longer a danger to freedom, but a means of advancing freedom. Why online communities hack despite its illegality? This is the second part of our topic. One could say that hacking is obsessive. Kevin Mitnick is one of the best and most famous hackers. Money was not his motivation. It was the thrill of looking at computer programs. Hacker communities started in the 50s at MIT. Hackers helped to develop hardware and software. Their obsessive work inspired creativity. The results were astonishing products. Colleagues in the mainstream found their work irritating. The pure hack did not respect conventional methods. These early hackers were driven by their own hacker ethic. This included elements such as commitment to free access to computers and information, mistrust towards centralized authority. Nowadays, they flout the law. They crack into communication networks, copy and distribute intellectual works. They don't care about convention. The credo of old-style hackerdom was creative brilliance. This has given way to a culture of script kiddies. They mimic technical ingenuity with the aim of furthering their anti-social ends. Hackers themselves have changed. The new hacker victimizes consumers of digital media. Cut off from his ideal, he's no better than other intruders or thieves. Let's put it all in a broader context. Hackers can be a positive force in society. Nevertheless, they are a threat. The combination of their skill and their ideology is a power that cannot be controlled. The famous hacktivist group Anonymous is an example. At this point, I want to hand over to Professor Murray. I'm delighted to welcome you here tonight. Thank you for being with us.